And welcome back to another prediction list, probably the last one ever just because there's so few players left. Episode 9 dropped, and I'm going to drop you guys with a hot take here. I think it was my favorite episode. I genuinely think episode 9 was really well established, and this isn't like a review episode of episode 9, but I just want to say that there are a few reasons why. The first is that Carol, I didn't really expect Carol to go far. I think she was always going to be someone who lasts like one or two episodes. That's usually what they do for these late game returns anyway, especially with such a small cast and with a small amount of episodes. And realistically, her story with Aiden and James, that wasn't going to last that long. She was either going to take one of them out or they take her out. And neither of those things happened. She just kind of got voted out. She just kind of got medevaced, which was a big surprise. That one I wasn't expecting. I also wasn't expecting the conflict to be more about a physical thing, that being the bug, rather than like, a mental thing, like, oh, I'm going to blackmail you, I'm going to spread lies about James, I'm going to, fool everyone. I'm going to say that you guys are like a power duo, or spread. I don't know. The fact that it was a spider, was not what I was expecting. But I mean, hey, I enjoyed it. I like Carol this episode. Carol was great, standout star. So many lines, so much screen time. It was awesome. And Allie, on the other hand, I feel like as you can see by this prediction from last episode, I figured her time was up. I figured that she had the least amount of agency going into this final 7, whereas at least Hunter is characterized as this big like obstacle or challenge beast who someone should be afraid of. Allie was just kind of there, like Hunter's like friend, and so I kind of foresaw the fact that Hunter would win an immunity and then Allie would be taken out as collateral damage. And yeah, I mean, she didn't. I don't think she interacted with anyone except for like briefly with Rhea for like, I don't know, like 10 seconds. But for the most part, yeah. At least Hunter, even though he also doesn't talk to the other people, at the very least he's characterized more with more long term in play. So yeah, Allie episode 9, I saw that coming. I got one right. Carol episode 9 as well. That was a shock. That was a genuine shock. I really thought that she would go in the same episode as Aiden. So we're gonna change this up. We're gonna say 5th place. We're gonna say 4th place, 3rd place, and then final 2. So we're gonna put them all into limbo for now. But yeah. So this is a very interesting final 5. Honestly, it's kind of weirdly disjointed because we have 3 separate plots going on. We got Aiden and James, we got Rosa and Rhea, and then we got Hunter all by himself now, and they don't really cross over. Like, yes, Aiden, James, Rosa, Maria, and Rhea, they voted together, but there's very few interactions, and we don't really know the dynamics. We're 10 episodes in, 9 episodes in, and Hunter's not talked with any of these people. It's a very interesting way to go about it, and I think that if I want to give my feedback, it would be, hey, for next season, the creators, Odd Nation Cartoons, you should have a few more interactions, or at least just a few mentions of the characters. Like maybe Rosa Maria could be like, yes, I think Allie, she's a massive threat. She's with Hunter. I feel like even just saying their names would make it feel a lot less like this weird, disjointed crossover where the other characters of different plots just like exist in their own universe, right? Because like in Jaden's universe, like Rosa Maria and Rhea, they don't exist. In Hunter's universe, Jaden doesn't exist. It's so weird. And spoiler for Danganronpa 2. Please skip, like, I guess 30 seconds if you don't want to hear spoilers. Does anyone get, like, Danganronpa 2 Survivor vibes from these last 5 people? Like, they're very disjointed and almost kind of like a random assortment. Like, yeah, some of them have cross, plot dynamics, but it's so random. And especially with Allie being the 6th placer, considering who is, quote-unquote, the 6th placer in Danganronpa 2, it's very, like, it parallels Danganronpa 2, and I don't think that was intentional. But yeah, no, if you know what I'm talking about, then, yeah, please let me know. Like, does anyone get those vibes from this Final 5? But yeah, anyway, I don't know. I'm going to have to rank where I think each of them are going to last in terms of the narrative. And I think that, in my head, there's a very linear way to victory, now that we know that Carol is not going to be separating Jaden. Jaden, in fact, separated Carol from her legs, so that's nice. So I think that episode 10 will have Hunter win immunity, again, for the 4th time, and the fandom will be incredibly pissed off, but let me say why. I think that right now, we have these 4 versus this one. These 4 have basically stuck together. They're an alliance that don't really interact with each other, but they only flipped on Lake because of the fact that Hunter and Allie were immune. I think that since the merge, they've been trying to get the members of the Love Triangle out. And I think that having Hunter go, despite all, who's already on the bottom, would be incredibly disappointing and kind of anticlimactic. I think it could still happen. I'm not going to deny the possibility, but I think that would be very boring, especially because I think Hunter has the most potential now that he's a lone wolf again. I think those first 3-ish episodes where he was sort of a lone wolf and sort of strategizing with Yule, and he had confessionals, that was when he was the most interesting. So I want to have at least one episode where he's not with the girls. They could just take him out because he's just sloppy seconds at this point. Like, his plot is over without the girls. Like, he's nothing by himself. But I really hope they don't do that. And the reason why I say that is because if you put Hunter in the middle, he's immune. He has the immunity benefit. Now it's these two versus these two. The alliance of 4 have to betray each other. Jaden is going to stick together. The R-girls are going to stick together, and Hunter's in the middle. And I think that is super interesting because now Hunter can go back and forth and strategize to be like, oh hey, yeah, guys, I'm going to work with you guys, and then go to the girls and be like, hey girls, I'm going to work with you, and then he gets to pick who goes home basically. And then on top of that, Rosa has the idol, and in Survivor, which the creators of Odd Nation cartoons are fans of Survivor, the last time to play it is at the final 5. Now I think if the storyline they're going for is like someone steals the idol, that would be incredibly cliche, and I would actually be genuinely annoyed because that has happened so many times in these fan seasons. I'm so sick and tired of someone stealing the idol. It just please, just for one season, can we not have someone steal the idol? It's so repetitive. It's so annoying. I don't want it to happen. I want Rosa to play it correctly on herself, to save herself, or even, oh my gosh, I just realized what would be awesome is that the 3 guys, they're like, oh, let's go for Rhea, and then Rosa, being the caring person that she is, she plays her idol on Rhea, and so Rhea is safe. The 3 votes don't count, and their 2 votes for Aiden count. Anyway, what I'm thinking is that Aiden is probably going to be the one to go. I think Aiden has not a lot going for him. I think he actually kind of completed his story in episode 9. I also think that in terms of red herringness, he's a pretty big red herring. I know he doesn't do a whole lot, and a lot of people have been complaining about that. But he has a lot of confessionals. He's always kind of the narrator of the Jaden plot. He always has a say in things, and it's just he has protagonist vibes. And I think that it would be a massive subversion plot twist if he just goes out in 5th. He doesn't even make Final 4. The Final 4 is all these other people. So I want to say Aiden is in 5th place. In my head, Hunter kind of has to win immunity, which I think can lead to the most potential twists and stuff where, as I said, it's Jaden versus the R-girls, and Hunter's in the middle, and then Rosa has the idol, and then she can play it on Rhea, and all that stuff, and now it's like, oh my god. And I think if Rosa plays it on Rhea, now, if the secret is revealed, which I think it will be, now Rosa will have a really good reason to get pissed off at Rhea. Rosa could be like, I could have used this to save Lake, but you were selfish enough, I used it on you to save you, you couldn't even, you don't have the decency to tell me. And now Rhea will have this storyline where it's like, oh crap, yeah, that's right. I know I'm playing the game. I'm just playing the game. I'm not really a villain. But at the same time, I could have told you, Rosa. I'm sorry. Whatever. I don't know. Because that's her personality, is that it is fueled by the insecurities because she's a Bollywood actress and she doesn't have a lot of clout, I guess. And so being secondary to Lake and Rose's relationship, that makes her insecure, and I think that's super interesting. But yeah, anyway, yeah, Aiden 5th place, that's what I think is going to happen. I think that the next episode will be similar to the Toll Drama episode where it was guys versus girls, 2v2, 2 of them are going to win immunity, and 2 of them are going to lose. I think that in this situation, the guys are going to win. I think James and Hunter are going to win. But at the same time, because Hunter's kind of pissed off that the idol was used, now they don't have the numbers advantage, Hunter will try to throw shit, because Hunter knows that, because Allie talked to Rhea about voting Lake, so Hunter knows that. So Hunter's like, hey Rosa, by the way, Rhea knew about the votes were going to Lake, and she didn't tell you. And that will fuel the Rosa-Rhea secret reveal that we've all been waiting for, I feel. And that will be, the big climax. Now these 2 girls, they lost the challenge. They're the only ones vulnerable, and now they have this drama going on, and I think that would be super interesting. I think that we're going to lose Rosa. I don't really have a good reason for it. I feel like it could go either way, but I think that Rosa has a lot less win equity than Rhea. And I think that, in terms of drama, it could be like, oh wow, so you lied to me, and now I'm being voted out for it because of your lie. I used this idol on you, and you didn't even, have the decency to tell me and all that stuff, right? And I think that Rosa being 4th place will be, a lot of people find her boring, but I think that this will be the moment where it's like they really empathize with her because she was just treated really kind of rough by Rhea and all that stuff, right? It's a necessary evil because this is a game where you vote people out, but the fact that we lose her in 4th place is just I feel like this will boost her likability by a lot. I feel like if what I predict is going to happen, then it would be amazingly beautiful. Now we have 3rd place, and I think that what's interesting about having James, Hunter, and Rhea as the final 3 is that we have 3 people from the 3 storylines. We have 1 representative of the Jaden plot, 1 representative of the love triangle plot, and 1 representative of the girls plot, I guess. So that's cool. I think having one per plot, while it's kind of weird because obviously Hunter, James, and Rhea have not like really talked to each other as of the episode 8 or episode 9 rather. I think that it would make the most sense as just to have three representatives of the three plots. And yeah, it could be Aiden, it could be Rosa, but I think that James, Hunter, Rhea just makes the most sense. And I think that we're gonna lose Hunter first. Hunter being a character is not gonna be a big thing here. I think Hunter will be more so characterized through his challenge dominance and his strategic nature. I think that we're not gonna get like too many more character moments with Hunter just because like we lost his main ones. We lost Ali and we lost Tess. He's now an obstacle. That's all he is. And I think that him losing, he's gonna win like by the nature of what I'm predicting, he's gonna win 5 immunities in a row, basically. But like in this pivotal third immunity or sixth immunity challenge, he loses, and I think that that's gonna be the moment where Rhea and James are like, okay, we can finally take him out. Like, oh my God, he is so good at challenges, or he's so lucky, he's hacking or whatever. Let's go take him out. He gets taken out in third, and I think that on top of that, that could be a good way to finish his story. We see Ali and Tess, and maybe they have a short conversation, just so that it's not during the finale or whatever, or during the big ending. And I think that that's what they could be going for. I can see Hunter being third, like very tragically taken just before the big final two. James and Rhea, they're like, yes, we did it for, Rhea did it for, I guess, Rosa, and James did it for Aiden. They've done it during the final two. I really like this final two, even though it's kind of awkward because they haven't interacted. I know like Duncan and Beth don't really interact, but I feel like Duncan and Beth at least have like 1 or 2 interactions, whereas James and Rhea currently have 0. So there's that. And yeah, I like James and Rhea as the final two. I think that's what they're going for. And I specifically have an idea of where they're going to place. I think James, and this is not even specific to the final two, this is just specific to the final 5, actually, is being edited like how runners-up on Survivor are being edited, or by runners-up I mean second placers on Survivor are being edited, which, as you may know, the creators of Odd Nations cartoons are big fans of Survivor, and also Total Drama is just based on Survivor, so I mean, it makes sense. The way they're edited is that they are big, very prominent in the pre-merge, in the very early episodes, and then kind of in the middle, they don't do much, and then towards the end, it's like, hey, remember these guys? They were big in the early game. Now they're back in dominance, but, obviously because they had that weird gap in the middle, they're not as impressive or important, so they get second place. And I think that's exactly what's happening to James. He was very important in the first 5 episodes. He kind of faded to the background in episodes 7 and 8. And now he's back, but I feel like those 2 episodes really hurt him because I feel like it's much better to have more of a hidden in plain sight edit, which is what Rhea got, where she's like, she's there, she does a few things, and sometimes, yeah, it's kind of repetitive and kind of non-negotiable. But her big standout moment was episode 8, with the with her move against Lake, and I feel like having like a slow build up and then eventually becoming like a big character, like how she was in episode 9. She had that like join the dark side moment with Carol or whatever. I think that is a lot more good for her win chances compared to James. On top of that, Rhea is just not portrayed in a negative light. I've seen people call her like the villain for her move against Lake, but it's like she's portrayed in such a sympathetic light. I feel like most shows, they would be like, oh yes, she's a horrible person, she's so apologetic, and it's like she'd be like, oh, I don't care, or anything like that. And yeah, sure, there can be nuances here and there. Just because you're a villain doesn't mean you need to be put in a very negative light, but at the same time, it's a super sympathetic light where it's almost like they don't really want to blame Rhea. And the way I see it is similar to Aventura, which is the previous season that's now non-canon that Odd Nation Cartoons worked on, where they had a moment where the eventual winner, Ellie, she was persuaded to the dark side as well with the 2 villains, with Gret and Fiore. And I think they're kind of going for the same thing with Rhea, where it's like, yeah, she was tempted with evilness by not telling Rose about the idol, but she's gonna have a redemption. She's still gonna win out. We'll have the final 2 of the 2. I'm not gonna say they're villains. I really don't think they're villains, but the more antagonistic-y characters in James and Rhea, and I think Rhea will win out. I think Rhea has the most win equity right now. She has the most like clear path I can see. Her character is the most like developed and the most prominent. Like, Aiden and James, they've faded in the background for episodes 7 and 8. Hunter just doesn't talk to anyone, so he's not a character. He's just an obstacle. And Rosa maybe, but like, I don't know. I feel like we've gotten substantially more Rhea content than Rosa, especially in the episode 9. Because Rosa got next to nothing in episode 9. I feel like giving your winner barely anything to do this late in the game is not a good sign. So, Rhea's edit really stands out because it's so prominent compared to Rosa getting nothing. So yeah, at the moment, this is my predictions. Rhea first, James second, Hunter third, Rosa Maria fourth, Aiden fifth. I think the only one that I'm not 100% sure on is Hunter and Rosa. Maybe they could swap. Maybe Hunter could be fourth, Rosa could be third. But for the most part, I'm setting this in stone. I'm putting $1 million on this bet. This is my final, well, most likely my final tier list. I don't think I'm going to make another one unless I'm completely wrong and Aiden is not fifth place. But I am so sure about this. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any comments, or if you want to hate me and think my videos are shit, then that's fine too. So yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.